Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the Thursday banger. It's time for the Thursday banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the Thursday banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always tell y'all before I start these videos off, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, man. I promise y'all there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. Don't go to jail. Don't leave your family. Don't get put in handcuffs. Don't have to get interrogated by detectives, man. I'm trying to keep you away from these situations, man, by telling y'all to stay out the way, man. Either you're gonna listen or you're not. You're either gonna have to do what I went through, man. Let's have to learn your lesson the hard way, man. And sometimes learning your lesson the hard way, it can be good for you because it did make me into the man I am today. But I wish I didn't have to do that because I wasted so much of my life. I wasted so much of missing my family. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that was damaged for me during that time, man. So if you out here doing the wrong thing, don't go through what I've been through, man. Turn your life around right now and just do the right thing. Period, man. But y'all ain't know what it is, man. This is the Thursday banger game. So I need to do this one. Like, subscribe so y'all skip. Let's go. But it's time for business. The story I got for y'all today is called He Ran Into an Old Friend. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man, where crazy things happen all the time. I'm letting you know now, man, like some people have so much secrets that they hide in the closet, man. Everybody has secrets for real, man. But like in prison, it's like usually a secret always gets put out there, man. Like you'll try your hardest to probably keep something on the low if you are on the low or whatever the case is, man. But it never works because there's always somebody that know you. There's always somebody that knew you from back in the day. There's always something. So you're not gonna be able to run from your past all the time, and your secret is not always gonna be able to be hidden, man. So usually when that happens, bad things go down, fights, hurt people, all type of stuff, man. So with that being said, though, we on Lawrenceville for this, y'all. We on Lawrenceville. And I can remember being in 30 building for this one, y'all. We in 30 building game, man. 33 pod to be exact. My favorite pod. But this was around the time where, man, I'm trying doing good, man. I'm getting the pack, man. Like, there's all type of stuff going on. Like, I did have to run with Big Tiff, getting the pack through the VI myself, man. And I made a decent amount of money to be able to put some money up. Like, a lot of people be on that joint, they be messing money up. But, like, I didn't have those things to go through, man. Like, all I had to do was pay Big Tiff. And that's all I had. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a mom that always had her hand out. I didn't have brothers that always had their hand out. I didn't have to take care of this girl, her peoples. I ain't have to do nothing, man. Once I paid Big Tiff, all the rest of the money went to me, man. So, like, I would make my money and I would have money put up, man. So, like, I would still be doing good. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So everything was going good. But it's like, when you're doing that, man, it's for a certain reason because of me, I felt like I was a vet at doing time because when you saving your money and putting money up, it kind of helps you in the long run because there's always going to be a time when you don't have it. And when you don't have it, now you got money to buy it. So if something comes up and you got somebody in your pod that's getting the pack or the dude got the roller, he getting the pack or something like that, when he pop up with the joint, you can pull up. You can be one of them dudes to pull up and be like, yo, look, what's up, bro? I got 300. What you trying to do? You know what I mean? It can be just like that, man. And that's how I did mine. So it was like I always had the pack, man. So this is around the time where I'm cooling, y'all. I have a cell phone. Everything is going great, man. But even though I lost the play with Big Tiff, with me still having money, I felt like I was still invincible a little bit when it came to getting the pack, man. You know what I mean? So everybody in the pod doing their thing. There's other dudes in the pod that be doing their thing. Just because I didn't have the play going on with Big Tiff don't mean everybody else was doing their thing. The pod across from me, they had dudes striking. The honor pod next door, they had dudes striking, man. Like, the building was just lit. But at the same time, I'm still trying to be very careful because I have this phone. So like being bald head kind of like, you know, we trying to like find a way that, you know, we don't have to be as hot. Like I was telling bro, like, yo, look, you know what I mean? Because I already know the rules. Like I already know that party time is not all the time on the phone. Because even though Lawrenceville was dumb sweet, if you become one of those guys that get super comfortable with a cell phone, kick your feet up, like ain't nobody gonna mess with you, man. Those be the dudes. Those usually be the dudes who get tore off. They get locked up and never come back to Lawrenceville. So like, I'm trying to explain to bro, like, yo, listen, like, I know we having fun with the phone. I know we messing with the la every day. We chilling. We got food to eat. Everything lovely in the sale, but like still though, we got to be more careful with this phone. I was like, cause this is the thing that can get us off this compound. So I was like, you know, we need it because if a play come up, we can take care of our business without asking somebody. We can call our peoples without asking somebody, and we don't have to use the wall phone. So I'm like, either way, we straight. I was like, we just got to get more disciplined with the joint. So prior to this conversation, I was letting the dude hold my phone that was in 32 pod. Like I thought that was kind of like playing past people. Like, yo, look, man, you know what I mean? Take the phone over to 32 pod, you know what I mean? Let the dude hold it over there. But like with him holding it over there, I felt good with that joint, but I still felt like it wasn't a good situation in the long run because like, I felt like he was probably doing whatever he wanted with my phone. I felt like when we're locked down for the rest of the night, because I was so paranoid with the joint, like I'll give him the phone every night, like 9 o'clock. So he'll have the joint from when we come back out at 10 and through the whole rest of the night. So like, even though he was a good, cool guy, you know what I mean? I just felt like still though, I was like, I wonder what he'd be doing with my phone when we be, you know what I mean? When we be locked down. I was like, he probably letting God knows who use my phone. Because people are sneaky like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If somebody tell me hold their phone, you my man, I probably let you use it, you know what I mean? But like this dude is not used to a phone. He's just a good holder of the phone. So who knows who he was letting use my phone. So after that play was going good, I changed it. And he was mad when I changed it. I ain't gonna lie. I told him like, yo, bro, I got it. You know what I mean? And I just started holding my phone myself. Like at the time, it wasn't a lot of rundown being going on. And I just would let somebody in the pod just hold it during the morning. And then I'll come back and get it and just be straight. So like everything was going smooth, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like even though I clapped bro and told bro I ain't want it no more, man, like everything still was going smooth, man. So I remember when I first found out about this play. Now I said this before and they done tore this off before. So it's like, this is not a secret because everybody already know about this. This got tore off probably like 4 or 5 times when I was on the compound, you know what I mean? But if Jack Bauer come shake you down, he's definitely gonna tear this joint off. But I can remember when I first got turned on to the putting the Jackson to the light on Lawrenceville. Now Lawrenceville and they pod, they have a light on the wall. Now Sussex 2 had a light, but like this is like Lawrenceville lights was a little different because Lawrenceville lights was over the sink and it's right there. Like when you walk in the cell, like it's the sink, it's the toilet over here, and it's the light like right over top. It wasn't as big as Sussex 2 light. Sussex 2 light was kind of wide right there on the side of the wall. They light is like right there and over the sink kind of light. So like if you have the right tools, you can take that off. Now, I never been around nobody. I heard about dudes doing it on the other side of the yard when I was in 60 building at one point, but I still never witnessed it. The people that I knew that was on my side of the yard, I still never seen them do this. But the way you can do this was you had to buy a piece from the maintenance man. Now, the maintenance man had the Alley Ranch joint that took off. Now, I don't know if it was the Alley Ranch. You know the little, y'all know the joint look like an L. It was one of those type of keys. You know what I mean? But not a key, but a screw rather like. But that was the thing that unscrewed the screws to the light. So I remember when I first heard somebody using the joint, man, like my man was telling me about it and he got turned on to it from his man on the other side. So I just so happened to be coming into the cell. This dude was from Richmond. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say his name, but I just so happened to be coming into his cell because me and him had one of them joints. Like I'll put his cell, I'll be like, yo, and I'll just open his door. Like he won't never like hide it from me with nothing. Cause me and him was cool. We both did business. I didn't have it. He had it. We would look out for each other. He needed something done with the phone. If his phone never got tore off, I would look out, vice versa. That's how I used to be. So when I come in his cell, like they had to cut his cut always like halfway up, like majority up. So when I come in, I see the maintenance man dude. He was in there. He was like, he looked at me like, and then my dude from Richmond was like, nah, shorty, he good. Look, what's up, Weez? I'm like, nah, what's up, bro? I was like, man, I just came to see what you had going on, bro. I was like, what's up, bro? Like, what you got going on? He was like, nah, look. He was like, yeah, look, dude. You know what I mean? He put the joint, you know what I mean? It's the joint for the light. He was like, you see this joint right here? The joint costs $100. And he showed me the joint. It was like the little alley ramp, you know, the little L looking joint. He was like, yeah, this joint right here costs $100. I was like, $100? He was like, yeah, but it opened the lights. So I'm like, oh, the light game. He was like, yeah, open the light up. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. I said, so that's what he was like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm tired of like letting people hold my joints. I want to hold my joint myself. Man. So I'm like, that's what's up. But still, though, I was still leery about that. I was still leery about how I was going, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, Like, even though that's a good move, but still though, it was something still that wasn't rubbing me right about. There was still something that wasn't like just making me feel it wasn't right like that. You know what I mean? It sounded like a good idea, but I wasn't on board with it like that. So he telling me that the maintenance man dude, like, he went on and like started finishing his joint. So after he finished, he took it off, and the maintenance man dude showed him where to put it at, which it was a little slack in the light. Like, you can just put your jack right there. I was like, man, like, I ain't gonna lie. After looking at it again from an angle, when I was looking at it after I seen the maintenance man take the light off, I felt like it was a good idea, y'all. So boom. So now my mind is racing. I'm like, you know what? Man, I want to hold my own jack, man. For real, I don't trust none of these dudes. So I brought the idea to Ballhead. So when I told Ballhead about the situation, he was like, yeah, that's cool. We're going to try it. So I'm like, let's see how long bro get away with it first. Because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we the dudes, like me, him, 3-4 other dudes in there, like, we get the pack. We know when to getting money. Like, they know about us. Like, not the police don't know about us, but I'm just saying somebody wanted to tell. Like, they would hit us probably, you know what I mean? So I'm like, let's see if bro get away with it for a month. You know what I mean? Just see what happens. So let a couple weeks go by. After a couple weeks went by, they end up saying that the black team was gonna come hit us that night. You know what I mean? Now, this wasn't no major shakedown. This is just random stuff that the black team, the people that, when I say the black team, these are people that wear all black sweatsuits. Basically, the people that work on a compound that want to be extra super cops. That's what the black team is. But they say they was gonna come hit us at night. So we had got that word. So everybody was job on point. But my man from he was already like on point. He won't trip me because he's like, I got the joint. Like, I'm straight. So nobody knew who they was gonna hit, but they knew they was coming. That night rolled around. So that night came, and it's my word, I'm up the whole night. So like 12 o'clock hit. When 12 o'clock hit, I slider open and just stay. They ran all the workers in. It was time for the workers to go in anyway, but the slider opened up. So everybody on the door. You got dudes on the window and dudes on the door. So everybody looking at like, hey, yo, they coming from the gym. They coming from the gym way. So dudes like, yo, they coming. People hitting the noise. It's my word. They running the joint. They hit the top tier. Now, my bro from Richmond, he was like in the 5th cell on the left side by the back door. So he's on the opposite side of the top tier from me. They run from the top tier and they hit his jank. Then they hit a dude jank downstairs, which is another dude from Richmond. I promise you, man, as soon as they hit his joint, they was in that joint for a minute. They don't find nothing. Tearing his joint up, tearing it to pieces. I'll say probably after like 30 minutes of hitting his joint, him and his celly sitting downstairs, bro don't even look worried. Next thing you know, you seen Jack Bauer come through that joint. Jack Bauer came through that joint like he just woke up out of his bed and he was like, I'm about to go shake somebody down and find a cell phone game. He came in that joint like this. Jack Bauer was like, where is it at? What cell? Better tell me now. I'm gonna find it. He went in his pants. He was like, he pulled out. So I don't know what this junk was. He pulled the junk out. He went up the steps. He was like, he get up the steps to get the bro cell. Man, he went straight to the light. I promise you, man, the man went straight to the light, y'all. He went right to that damn light. And he went to that light. He pulled out some joint that he had a joint that it was like a short broom handle, like kind of like, and he was unscrewing the joint. He was like, he got that angle. I'm right across from this so I can see it. I'm like, yo, Miggity, look. Shh, about to tell bro off. He get up, he's like, oh. I'm like, this joint crazy. He took that joint off, he was like, he started looking around, he was like, I'm looking at bro from Richmond. Bro from Richmond got handcuffs, so he's sitting up there, he's like, it's word, Jack Bauer, like, oh, jackpot. He didn't even unlock it. He looked down at dude, he's like, hey, thanks, man. Dude from Richmond looking sick, y'all, so boom. He go down. Got caught with the jack. You get caught with the jack on Lawrenceville, you out of there, y'all. That's the rules, man. I felt bad for bro. Bro had a good run up there. As soon as he switched his game plan to holding the jump in the light, like, I felt like that jump was, you know what I mean? I just felt like, you know, I thought it would work for him, but still though, man, it was just, something went right about it, man. So I'm like, this jump crazy. So now, me and Miggity looked at that joint like, yo, that joint is rock, man. So we came back out after they got bro, you know what I mean? Everybody talking about it. Yo, man, that's crazy. Da, da, da. His roommate looking sick. His roommate looking sick in the face. His roommate looking extra sick. His roommate like, man, that's crazy, man. He went on and took the charge for both of us when we go down. But that's crazy though, man. Like, I wonder if somebody told. I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, that junk crazy, man. I was mad bro went down like that. You know what I mean? So I'll say probably about an hour go by. I'm in the cell. I hear a knock at the door. I'm like, yo. It was bro from Richmond roommate. He was like, hey, Weezy, can I talk to you? I'm like, what's up? He came in the cell. He was like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna come to you, man. He was like, man, for real, you trying to buy this joint right here? I was like, what's that? The joint for the light? He was like, yeah. I was like, what I'm gonna do with that, bro? When people know about the joint? He was like, man, maybe you can do it with somebody else. I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? So as he's saying that, Miggity walked in, bald head walked in. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, say word is Sully trying to sell me the key to the light. Bald head was like, what you want for it? He was like, man, man, give me $25, man. Y'all can have this joint, man. I was like, you know what? He was like, just buy it, bro. I was like, man, I'm just gonna buy it. You never know, you know what I mean? Even though I knew that plan wasn't gonna work, I just bought it. Anyway, I bought the joint from him, give him the money, he dipped. So when he dipped, me and bro sat in the cell, we just kind of pondered to ourselves, like, what we gonna do with this junk? I was like, man, you know what, man? I was like, man, this is what I think it is. I said, I think if you got it in your cell, you duct tape. You know what I mean? I said, now, if you got somebody that's quiet, they don't mess with, and is in their light, I said, I think that's when you get away with the joint, man. I said, look, you gotta overthink the police. You gotta outthink them, man. Like, you have to, man. You gotta be smarter in breaking the law and stuff, man. Like, you gotta be smarter when it comes to breaking the law. And I thought that up, yo. I said, you know what? Maybe if I keep it in somebody else's jank, somebody else's cell, I said, man, maybe I'll get away with it, y'all. So boom. Nigga was like, yo, and I know somebody too, man. I know somebody too. I was like, who? I already knew he was thinking. It was this quiet dude. We gonna call him Travis, man. Travis had just moved in the pod. He wasn't from Norfolk. He wasn't from the town, but he lived in Norfolk, but he was from somewhere else. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say, man, but he was the perfect candidate, man, because he moved straight into a cell with nobody in it. The second cell downstairs, nobody in the jank, man. So he ended up getting a roommate, but he moved into a room. He was dolo at first. He had his own stuff, so he was straight. So by the time he got a roommate, his roommate ended up being a cool white dude anyway. So it was like he was the perfect candidate because he was so quiet. And every now and then, Baldhead would let him use the jack. You know what I mean? So it was like, I was like, yo, look, that's what we need to holler at, bro. I was like, call him up here. Call him up here. So bro called him. You know what I mean? Travis came up that joint. Yeah, knock on the door, like, come in. He came in the joint. He was like, what's up? Now, Travis was a little older than us. Travis was probably already, we was like late 20s. Travis was probably like 36, 37, 38. He had the little mustache, the little waves game, the good hair with the waves. Quiet dude, you know what I mean? Clean cut dude, didn't get no trouble, didn't catch no charges, they cursed no police out. The man was perfect candidate for this job. So he come to the cell, he like, what's up? We like, look, man, sit down, man. He like, what's up? Y'all know I don't mess with the Lala. And that was another thing he didn't do. He didn't mess with the Lala. I was like, yeah, we ain't mess with no Lala, man. We gotta talk to you about something. He was like, what? Boy, he was like, look, let's say, goddamn, we just pay you, man, to hold the phone for us. What you were charges? He was like, hold the phone. He was like, what if they come shake down? What I'm gonna do if they come? I'm gonna have to flush it there, right? He was like, nah, you ain't gonna have to flush this one. He was like, I ain't gonna be able to flush it. I was like, look. I said, yo, put the cut up, Miggity, put the cut up. I walked to the light. I was like, look at this. I was like, I took all the screws off. He was like, what you about to do? I was like, shh. Like, you gotta be quiet, pulling it down, because you can hear it if you. I was like, I pulled that junk down, folded it down. I was like, you see this place right here? He was like, yeah. I was like, bro, listen, the phone fit right in there, bro. He was like, if it fit right in there, why y'all ain't holding it in? I was like, that was a good question, but I'm like, listen, man. I said, you see how bro got towed off? He was like, who, bro from Richmond? I'm like, yeah. I said, look, you can't hold it yourself if you're doing dirt. I said, if you're doing dirt, they're gonna find it because they still gonna tear your stuff apart if they come and see you. They coming for you anyway. I said, now if they come for you anyway, you don't got it in your cell. That's how you outsmart them. He said, what if they go every cell and take the light off? I was like, I never seen that tactic. I was like, bro, they're not gonna go every cell, bro. I was hoping they didn't though. I didn't really know this. I was like, bro, they're not gonna hit every cell, bro. It's not gonna happen, bro. I said, even on a big shakedown, they're not gonna do that. He was like, all right, so look, if I hold the jump for y'all, what y'all gonna do for me then? What's good? I'm like, man, that's what I'm saying though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you gonna charge? Like, talk to us. Like, what's the price? He was like, man, look, I'll give y'all a $50 list every month to order me what I need from commissary. Is that cool? I was like, every month? He was like, yeah. I was like, that ain't bad. $25 a piece for me and Miggity. I'm like, nah, that's a good deal right there. I said, that's a bet, bro. That's a bet. That's it. He was like, yeah, just, you know, like, you know what I mean? You know, I'm gonna wanna use it sometime. You know, I ain't gonna use it with my roommate in there. Like, I'm gonna be careful, like, and still use it when y'all pull it out. But like, I ain't gonna be, that's what they all be saying. But like, everybody use the jack or whatever the case. But like, if you holding it or whatever. So I'm like, all right, look, but you gotta be safe with it. It gotta be put up. That's the deal. He was like, all right, that's a bet. So we shook on the joint, man. So I showed him. He sat in there for a little bit longer. I showed him how to unscrew the joint. I showed him how to put it back up. I showed him how to screw it back on. I showed him the whole nine. I gave him the whole play on how to be a freaking maniac phone holder, y'all. So boom. Travis was ready though, man. Travis, some people be wanting jobs like that just because it makes sense. Like I felt like me bringing him this play, like he felt like, yo, like, man, that dude makes sense though, man. I'm not nobody they looking at. I'm not nobody they just gonna shake down randomly. And we gotta kind of play it off. Like now that he's holding the joint, like now we can't be like someone always talking to him, me shooting in his cell and all of that. Me and Miggity was gonna work that out when he leave, you know what I mean? Because perception and throwing people off, man, this is what you have to do in there. I'm letting you know now. Because if people just start seeing us always go to his cell or he coming to our cell, people so nosy in there, like I be being nosy, they be nosier than me. They gonna put two and two together, they gonna be like, he the one holding Weezy and them jack. And then if somebody gonna tell, then have that situation with the light thing is not gonna work. You know what I mean? So he was like, we got to change that up. So everything was straight though, man. We were just happy that we had somebody holding the jack. I was sorry to see bro go down and we had to learn a lesson through this, but still though, like I got the key now. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to make something happen. So now I feel like the phone is safe. I feel like our phone is safe now, man. So like time went on, man. Time went on in that joint, man. Like bro was holding the jack for us, man. Like everything was going smooth, man. Like the first smooth run is when they did an institutional lockdown, probably like 2 months after he was holding the jack for us already. And when they did the institutional lockdown, y'all know that's when they shake everybody down. Everybody's locked down. The whole compound is done. No, nothing. Ain't nothing going on until they finish shake down the whole spread, the whole compound. So when he had to join his light, I know for a fact he was scared, man. You know what I mean? Because I told y'all he's in the second cell from the bottom tier down there. So I know for a fact he was shook when he was shaking down. They finally got, we like at the beginning cell on the top tier on that side. You know what I mean? So like if I come out, usually they gonna be out if they shaking the top and the bottom down at the same time. So when me and bro came out, we in our boxes, we came out, they had our chairs right there in front of the door, because that's what you do. When they shake you down, you come out, they got 2 chairs in front of your door, you sit in front of your door and you watch them shake down. You know what I mean? So when I come to the railing, I did like this, I looked down at bro. Bro was already sitting in the chair, the dude Travis, he was already sitting in the chair. He looked up at me like, he was looking shook. He was like, I just looked the other way. I was like, I didn't even want to look at me, y'all. So boom, I couldn't look at his face right now, man. It was getting serious, man. So they shake us down. So they was in our cell so long. They was in our joint forever, man. They was trying to find everything, man. They was going in bro joints. You know what I mean? They wrote me a charge for having some old green dot numbers that wasn't even no money on them joints. I don't know why I still had like the copy of the joint still. Like there wasn't no money on the joints. They took the joints and wrote me a case for it and everything. So like they was in our joint for a minute. They was swearing they was gonna find something. I looked up. I seen Jack Bauer coming in the joint. Jack Bauer come in. He was like, Jack Bauer walk on his tiptoes like a psycho. He like, he started looking around. He was like, it looked like he had his clothes in his car because he just got the black shirt on with some freaking corduroys and some freaking Bobo shoes. I don't know what these joints is. He like, where you want me to start at? I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, start at? It was like, yeah, go ahead and hit that handicap right there. There was another dude that be getting money. He was like, yo, hit that handicap right there. Hit this cell right here and go get white in there. I'm like, so I'm looking. Jack Bauer was like, he gave me a little freaking smirk. He was like, crazy. So they came and they hit those cells that he told them to hit, but they didn't hit the cell that was holding the phone, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I was crazy happy after that joke was over with, man, because when we found out is that our plan really worked, y'all. So boom, it was done with our part, man. And Travis got away with the joint, man. They let us out for showers that day. We come out for showers because we done with shakedown. We come out for showers. I look up, I see Travis coming up the steps. Travis like, yeah, hey, look, what's up, Wiz? I'm like, what's up? I'm good. He went to the shower, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's just crazy, man. I looked at bro, I was like, yo, bro, I told you, bro. I was like, bro, I told you, bro, this job was gonna work, bro. I was like, if you hot, that's when they gonna come hit your light. I said, if you ain't hot, they ain't messing with your light. Me, I was already labeled as a maniac that was getting paper. So the police job knew what I was into. They was like, he think he's smart because he all quiet and he ain't all loud, but I know he in the sun. And that's how they used to treat me. You know what I mean? So I already knew my light was gonna get checked and all of that, man. But they didn't find the jack, man. I promise you, man. We came off lock. And bro brought us the phone, man. Like, I felt so good, man. He told me straight up, he was like, man, it was a good idea. They ain't gonna never shake me down. I said, bro, this gonna be the easiest $50 a month you gonna make. Bro, he was like, yeah, look, I'm here. I ain't getting transferred. I'm locked in. I said, bro, we locked in then. You know what I mean? I doubt Travis up, he dipped. You know what I mean? So after the shakedown was over, we come out. Now, every time we go on a big institutional lot, there's always somebody there's always 1 or 2, 3 people that probably don't go to the hole for miscellaneous stupid stuff. My dude might be, I got a knife. What you got a knife for? What's that for? He get caught with a knife. He got caught with this. He got caught with that. Some dudes do go down. So like 2 dudes went down in our pod. So it was 2 spots open in our junk, man. I promise you, man. As soon as we was off lock, we came off lock. They supposed to let us off Monday, but we come off on Tuesday. Tuesday is the day that they always bring new intakes on the compound. As soon as we came off lock, man, I promise you, as soon as we came off lock, they brought 2 dudes in our block. Now, the 2 dudes they brought in our block, one of them went upstairs, and one of them went in the cell with the boy from Richmond, because the dude who went in the cell with the boy from Richmond, he went to the hole for some BS. So he took the dude's cell that came from Richmond. Now, I seen a little young black dude coming in downstairs, but when I looked, because I'm looking directly out my window, I seen kind of like a tall black dude. Like, he, you know what I mean? He had look regular, he had the little fro, but he was going up the steps, and he had just looked experienced at prison. He was looking around, he was like, then he went to his cell. He put his stuff up, then he came and stood like on the railing, like kind of like he was across from my cell. So like he on the joint, like, and it looked like he was scanning the joint, like he was just looking around. You know what I mean? So he finally come out. Now the dude Travis really didn't come out like that. That was in our pod, man. I promise you, man. Like as soon as Travis stepped out, the ice joint is right. The ice, the sink, everything, the microwave, all that is right by Travis' cell. You know what I mean? Right there is like a hop, skip, and some showers, and then it's the sink area and all that. That's where his cell is at. Man, I promise you, man, as soon as he stepped out of the cell, the tall dude that was standing on the top tier, he was like, he right in front of me. This is how I see it. He said, "Hey, Trav, what's up, man?"
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.